Welcome to the Buck Sports channel. This is our Sunday video for this week, taking a break from the Sunday pick'ems. This is the top 10 quarterbacks in the FFL, which is my All Pro Football 2K franchise. These will be the 10 best quarterbacks in all, and I'm going to have their pros and their cons. And real quick, Nate Porter, who's the quarterback of my Dragons, comes in directly at number 12 as an honorable mention, and number 11 is the quarterback for the Firebirds, Neve Watts. But with that said, there's some of the best talent in this video, so hopefully you guys like it. Please like and subscribe, and let's jump into the rankings. First of all, we have at number 10, the quarterback for the Flight, Cameron Scalone. He's an older quarterback. He's been in the league for a long time, way before we even started the franchise. We actually, I think, see him in either Season 1 or Season 2, and he's a top quarterback. He has been for a long time, but age is finally starting to catch up with him. So some of his pros: he has amazing pocket presence. If he feels like he's being rushed, especially when he was younger, he would at least get a couple yards with his feet and slide, or just try to throw it away as soon as possible. Nowadays, he still has that pocket presence. He's able to focus, he's able to fight through some of the pressure that he gets, but a big problem is that due to his age, he's lost a lot of his zest on the ball and in game. Also, one of the big parts of his game as well is reading coverages. If you give any receiver a little bit of room, he's tossing that ball deep. He's also very careful most of the time, but he can make some really good throws even at his age. And on top of that, he's extremely tough. He's only missed one game his whole entire career, and that was supposed to be his first start. And he missed it due to a family emergency years ago. But with also his age, he's been getting hit a lot more recently. Will that come back to bite him? And lastly, his loss of arm talent. Due to his age, he's just lost a lot of zest on that ball deep. And now, talking about zest, looking at number 9, the Walleyes, their quarterback, Terence the Cannon Thomas. He is young. I believe he's only been in the league for 4 to 5 years. He came into the league with a good quarterback class, but he has a giant arm. He can throw the ball 100 yards sitting on his knees, and he can put the ball in any part of the field he wants. Some of his positives is his good potential. He's still young. He's still going to get better throughout the years, and he's still on his first team on the Walleyes. They've built a decent core around him, but they've had a hard time trying to keep it that way due to just many reasons, not with Terence Thomas. His arm strength, like I said, is absolutely insane. He can pretty much put the ball at any part of the field. It may not be extremely accurate, but man, he can get it there. He's also extremely hard to sack, but that also goes into his first con, his bad diet. A problem with him is that he came in the league a little bit bigger at 250 pounds at 6'5", and now he's 6'5", and it says he's 680, or not 680, sorry, he's 280, but it's rumored that he's over 300 pounds, and he keeps getting bigger. And then finally, his bad accuracy. Due to his bad decision making, his accuracy combines that awful tendency of just throwing it deep and just throwing bad interceptions. Next, we have David Electric Johnson. He just came into the league in the 8th season, and he's already nearing the top of the league. He's coming up very quick. He's an offensive threat. He's a Chris Young, the franchise type quarterback. He got that out of college. That went from being a really good plus to a lot of big cons of many quarterbacks given that label. But he has shown that he's a better quarterback he even showed in college. Coming out, it was shown that Nate Porter was the better quarterback accuracy-wise. But it seems like in this league, it just does not matter because he is extremely fast. He's probably the second or third fastest quarterback in this league. He has surprising throw power that he never showed in college, and he has extremely high potential. And here in a couple years, he might be nearing the top of the league in quarterbacks. Now, his problems are his bad accuracy. He tends to kind of airball it on easy passes, and also with the bad mistakes wrapped up into it. He tends to kind of throw it in double coverage and gets way too aggressive at times trying to throw it into coverage for his receivers. But David Electric Johnson is a pure threat at quarterback, and it's going to be exciting to see how he is in this league. Next, we have Austin Stewart at number 7. He is the quarterback for the former Redcoats, now DC Demons. He has a championship under his belt. He's a very underrated quarterback. No one's really talking about him due to David Electric Johnson being almost the new face of the league. Austin Stewart, he's a good pocket passer. He's still very young. He came into this league younger than most. He has good arm talent. He's good in the pocket. If there's blitzers coming at him, he's able to manipulate the pocket perfectly. He's extremely accurate when it comes to not just balls down the field, but thrown to the sideline. He has a special talent for that. But big issue is the fact that he fails under pressure. Yes, he has won a championship, but it's due to his team having one of the best defenses in the league. But ever since then, since their defense has been falling and their offense hasn't been as great, he just hasn't been talked about much. And then lastly, his lack of throw power is also hurting him, because it's not like they can just get a deep threat or trade for an extremely fast receiver. They have to get a specific type of receiver for him that's really hard to find in this league. You can find a whole bunch of fast wide receivers in the draft. There's always 4, 5, 6 receivers like that, but there's barely any receivers who are going to be good in traffic, and usually when there is, they're just too low in the draft to even pick them. So hopefully Austin Stewart can become a bigger name for his team, because he is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And now at number 6, we just mentioned him, Chris the Franchise Young, one of the best quarterbacks in the league when it comes to athleticism. He came into the league very young, very agile. He could play almost every position, and he decided to play quarterback. Now, people started using him as quarterbacks should be like him. But the problem is there were so many mobile quarterbacks, especially as we see in the last few years, that just don't work on their arm talent. And we look at Chris Young, who he's the face of the league. He's finally hitting the end of his prime, but he is an offensive threat, and he's starting to make really good decisions with the ball. Now, does he lack amazing throw power and perfect accuracy? Absolutely. But that's not his game. He's able to run away from a bad pocket. He's able to scramble when he needs to. He's able to make a really good decision throwing deep. And now with the Blackbirds, he finally has a team with an amazing defense like he had with the Wolves. We used to use this guy, and he was the perfect quarterback for us. He threw a lot of picks, but now he's over that. He's able to be very efficient and use his speed when he needs to. He's starting to age out a little bit, though. He's lost a little bit of that speed. He's not the fastest quarterback anymore. But he's probably the best mobile quarterback and best offensive threat. It's what Electric Johnson is trying to become, and that is Chris the Franchise Young. But so far, he's only number 6 because as a quarterback, it's not like he's a great, amazing quarterback. And we're looking at another underrated gem in the league in Connor Grimm. He's a quarterback of the Cavalry. Now, he's been pretty lucky since he's been drafted. He's had 2 amazing receivers in Ware and Caskey, a championship-winning receiver who way back years ago was the number 1 receiver in the league. But Connor Grimm here, he's extremely accurate. I would say he's probably one of the most accurate quarterbacks in this league. And he has a love of football that is almost unrivaled by any other player except probably for the number 1 pick that you'll see later. And he's very consistent. He's never he's sometimes in the top of the league in passing touchdowns and or yards, due to their team having a very explosive offense, now with a good running back as well. But he's tough, but he is injury prone. He tends to come back the next week or even later in games, but he's putting his team at a loss because he's not really ready to just be injured and try to take time off. And as well, because of those injuries, he was always very timid in the pocket, but now he's very timid in the pocket. But it's not like he can really scramble. He just kind of sits and waits, but if there's not enough time, he gets scared and just rifles that ball because he knows he can put it into spots very accurately, but it's just not great. He's still young and very underrated as a quarterback. He has fantastic intangibles, but he really needs to work on it. Now, number 4 is Al Thrills Frills. He is an amazing quarterback for the Bullheads, former Giant quarterback when he played for Arizona years ago and won them a championship. But after that, the team fell apart and he was traded to the Bullheads. And ever since then, he's had a very up and down career. He's very hard to sack. He's very agile in the pocket. He tends to sit in the pocket a little too long. That's one of his cons, is he holds the ball too long, but it's hard to sack him. He can break sacks over and over again, 4 or 5 in one play, and then throw it deep for a big touchdown. Same thing, big arm. He has one of the biggest arms in the league. Now, is it Terence Thomas? No. But it is at least a top 10 big arm, which there's not many big arms in this league. The only problem, and then lastly, is his clutch ability. He's extremely clutch when he needs to be. He will, if his team is down by 6 points and there's 1 minute to go, this is the quarterback you want. No doubt. He's not going to make any mistakes when it comes to where the ball needs to go. He's extremely clutch. But his biggest issue is his lack of work ethic. He hasn't gotten better since his 3rd year in the league. He's stayed the same, and the Bullheads, I don't think, are getting him pumped up for the game anymore. With the Bullheads, he's just not doing well. He had one good season with them, and ever since, they can't really do much. So, rumor is he might be traded soon, but we do not know. But next is number 3, the Guardians quarterback, Ryan Humes. He came into the league with Rick Tempest back years ago, about 2 years before this franchise started. And he has grown, and he was always known to be the worst quarterback compared to Rick Tempest. But now Rick Tempest is a borderline backup quarterback and player coach for the Gladiators, and Ryan Humes is a top 3 quarterback. He has the perfect scramble ability, like you would say of offensive threat like Electric Johnson, but he has great arm talent as well. He's extremely accurate and extremely accurate deep as well, which we don't see that often. He can throw some bad picks, but he puts the ball where the receivers can get it, and so the Guardians really don't have amazing receivers. I mean, I think they do need some, but they just don't need them because he's such a good quarterback and he's hard to tackle. He's an athletic freak. Even at his older age, he rolls out. He makes big plays off his back foot. He's clutch. He's awesome. His issue is he's nervous in the pocket. If there's even one guy coming free at him, even though it's hard to sack the guy, and he's going to try to evade him as best as possible, he's going to get scared. He's going to throw it when he shouldn't. He's going to not throw the ball away or throw the ball away too early. Things like that happen with Ryan Humes. Sometimes the ball is just a little too slippery for him, and it comes out all wibbly-wobbly. But Ryan Humes is an amazing quarterback for the Guardians, and it really has elevated that team since he got there. And number 2 is Bryce OConnell, Mr. BOC himself, from the Metal. The Metal dynasty has been going on for years. Ever since Warren Tanka for them left for the Hogs, and they picked up Bryce OConnell in that first draft in the franchise, and he is the best pocket quarterback in the league. He's clutch. He has a winning history. He's just almost an absolutely perfect, quarterback when it comes to great in the pocket, winning history. He's a perfect leader. He gets everyone pumped. And hey, if he throws a pick, he's really not that mad. He's just going to get back into the game and he's going to make up for it later because he's the most clutch quarterback we've ever seen in this league. His only quote unquote issue is his lack of arm strength. I mean, he doesn't have a cannon. It's not like he's going to completely like destroy someone with pinpoint accuracy, or like have the ball fly through someone's hands because he's throwing it so hard. But he is an amazing quarterback, especially for that metal team that have such an interesting offense with not amazing receiving talent or even blocking talent, but somehow they keep winning every year. Bryce O'Connell, even though this season they aren't doing that great, he is a highlight to that team and a highlight to this series where every game we play against him, he always plays well. And when he doesn't, he comes back the next game and just absolutely destroys your team. He's a scary thought if any other team would get him, but the Metal look like they're pretty much stuck with him for now. And number one, Patrick Anderson, the best quarterback in the league, hands down. He is Bryce O'Connell in the pocket. He is Ryan Humes and Chris Young mobility with a great arm. He has great accuracy and great accuracy on the run. He's a good runner. He makes great decisions. He's comfortable in the pocket. Patrick Anderson is the perfect quarterback, and he has been for years. When he's with the Stallions, they built a team around him, and they've won some. But I don't think they ever won the championship. And now he's with the Revenge, who are now, ever since they got him, the team hasn't changed much. But they are number one or number two every week. They're bouncing around the top 5 all the time. And it's because of this man, Patrick Anderson. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. But here soon, we're going to have to face them probably in the playoffs at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if we somehow make it to a championship, which we're on a Cinderella run right now. I don't know how we're doing so well. But if we somehow make it to the playoffs, somehow make it to the championship, the Revenge might be there, and we might have to face Patrick Anderson. But if we do, we're screwed, because every time we face the Revenge, it's a hard-fought game. And it's scary to think that he's still young. He came out of the same class as Bryce O'Connell, but can he continue? We do not know. But thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.